the time that this book was created, in a sense that there was this tight group of managers we called the Secret Service Society. And I dedicate this to them in the beginning. And the motto at the beginning is like what we used to read before every meeting. But I think that the motto and that feeling of, I don't know, just, I think that I mean, it's funny how accomplished most of those managers have become, but they were accomplished then, really, in a sense. But how, yeah, like you think like a small group of people can't make such a difference, but I mean, it's funny, you really can. And how hard and smart they were, how hard they worked and how smart they were. But I think that is when I think of this book, I genuinely attribute a lot of the content in here to what we figured out in feedback loops of trying things and not accepting the status quo. Yeah. Like nobody in that room was opposed to trying something if it made sense. And they were all trying to up each other in performance, and everything was based on the customer experience and net profit. So none of the stuff in here is idealized, which I've always had a disdain for consultants and idealized ideas when, you know, people say, oh, you got to pay your advisors on gross. Why? Well, and then they don't know why, but because they heard it at a 20 group, but it doesn't make any sense. Or, you know, people that sit around and argue about proficiency and efficiency and all that, like there's none of that. And there was none of that in that room. They were so hardcore, like to not waste their time with that sort of stuff. And so that's number one. And then a close second is the chapter with Mr. X, James.
Yeah, that's great. It's, I think my favorite thing about what you just said is that when you think back to the Secret Service Society, is the amount of people that were in that room 13, 14, 15 years ago that are still involved in our program today.
Yeah,
in one way or another.
They're coaches.
Some of them are coaches, some of them are still clients. It is
Isn't
really
it funny
cool.
when people are like, so tell me about your coaches, what do they know? And you're like, you have no idea how good our coaches are. There's nothing they haven't seen, right? Like, they're not they weren't BG, you know, they weren't selling BG or whatever. They've been to hell and back a bunch of times.
Yeah, I'll say that every once in a while when I get on with a prospect and I'm like, I'm never trying to fix your department with the BG rep, and then I immediately qualify it by saying, not that there's anything wrong with the BG rep, it's just a different skill set.
Yeah, no, it's a completely different skill set.
Yes, it's just a very different skill set, which these.
But you can't unless you've ran stuff and had to sit in the chair. You don't have the empathy for the person sitting in the chair that our system requires.
That's right.
Because there is a degree of empathy that's needed in order to get the result. Thanks so much for watching this clip of Service Driving Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.